Hey, good evening. Hope y'all are doing well tonight. It's gonna be kind of hard to beat the last yesterday's stream or the night before. Some pretty crazy stuff going on. So, like I said in the tweet and the title of the stream today, we took down Fordola on Friday, and we went toe to toe and won with Zenos on Saturday. So now we're in the transition content between the end of Stormblood and towards the beginning of Shadowbringers. So eventually we'll make it into the next expansion pack. It's just a question of when exactly that's going to be. So, hey, welcome, Hobo. It's always nice to see you. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Thank you so much, Prismalin, for the follow. It means a lot. Means a ton. Is it? That would be really strange. Like my mic volume is really low? Is it better now? Shouldn't be that low. Okay. Weird. I wonder if my mic is starting to kick the bucket here. Interesting. I'll have to look at that later. My thanks, Raban. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas the same rage which brought us to our feet, and carried us to victory. But now the war is over, all that unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Interesting. I wonder if there was some patching going on behind the scenes. Because my friend Malik was having some problems with Final Fantasy earlier. Oh, crap. Okay. Yikes. There we go. Thank you, Hobo. My friend Malik was having some issues with Final Fantasy today, and actually over the past couple of days. And then, yeah, just all kinds of folks are having some weird issues today. Hey! So I did a few tweaks with my Stream Deck, so now the whole thing is just a little bit less buggy when I'm going about stuff. Like when somebody beans me, I can turn into a bean, and it's not gonna. I don't have to stop and do it. It's all working as it should. Aye, and it's not just here. We have reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Zenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace, but maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we planned a summit of sorts. We've been invited to Ananta and the Kirin to participate. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated, and everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric or Zenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past, a moment of it anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, aye, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born, and that's something I can understand. Alright. Speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my other duties, then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. That sounds actually a little bit ominous to me. Like that's exactly what's going to happen. You have the commander's permission to enter, then? Yes. Oop.
So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom. Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men. And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it! You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fordola. I see you for what you are.
Come along, Fordola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right. Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Fordola!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of Ahty.
We're citizens. We have rights.
Ah!
Father, I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fordola, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods. What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay! You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
For those I have lost, for those I can yet save.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Yikes. I don't know what we solved anything, really. But we've given Fordola something to think about, at least. Aye. And I found something new to think about, too. Hi there, Mo Savage. Welcome. Oh, you're gonna boot me, huh? How are you doing tonight? I don't know about you, Ahty, but the visions only come to me every now and then. From the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. No worries. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty chill for a Sunday evening. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who is born with the Echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? Aw, thank you. Well, the Immortal Flames have been scouring their research facility ever since the Liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. Well, it does that all the time, so I don't know what to say. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Mo Savage. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? Alright. Gotta speak with a guard. Yep, long butt. There's the guard right there. General Alden is inside. Will you be joining him? Yeah. This place. Thank you so much for gifting that 3 months of Tier 1 to Mo Savage. Thank you so much, Hobo. Heck. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it? Yes, as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Arnvold noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the Scion's expert assistance, if you have the time to lend a hand. So many bodies, every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible aether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. The device in which Kryl was held seems even more ominous now that you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears the label Master Subject. Interesting. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the aether of the occupant, save the one right there. Unlike the others, the interior's been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. Oh, thank you so much for the 5 bits, Mo Savage. Awesome. Thank you so much. I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated. Ooh, dang. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Dang. Hey, Fingies. Welcome. Thank you so much for the lurk. Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kryl and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. Pick a number 1 to 500. 333. Thank you. Thank you so much for the cheer. 333 bits. Thank you so much. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject in this case, Kryl, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. Interesting. Thank you so much for 100 more bits. Thank you. That is really kind of you. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryle's echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryle is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. Thank you for another 50 bits. Yeah, the corgis, I think that is a Twitch thing. I wish I could take credit for those, but no. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door, night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past... But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. You'd never be the same again. And another 12 bits. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I guess so. That's neat. Indeed, as you may recall, Ysael was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Hraeskbelger's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Ooh, yikes. Mo Savage, I don't know that I have too many mods on right now that can do the Discord thing. I might actually have to do that after the stream. Is that okay? The Discord's still kind of small. It's very new. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. Oh yeah, but I actually have to go into the Discord and actually clear you for the rest of the server. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these gods-forsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish, not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should lead the flames to it. Let's go. Oh yeah, Mo Savage, you would be on the welcome mat. From the welcome mat, we have to apply certain what are they? Certain roles, and then it would open up the rest of the server to you. But we'll get you. I go looking for answers about the Echo and end up getting schooled by Raban. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I'll be streaming for another couple of hours. I usually stream till about like 9 o'clock or like 9:30 PST. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again in the land of their birth. Ahty, a moment. Ooh, it's Pippin. I am newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. Hey, Fox, welcome. Today has been pretty good. An audience with the Sultana. Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphinaud, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Ahty. Interesting. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arenvald? I am at your beck and call. I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins, and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Nanamo my regards, Ahty. And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Ooh, looks like I'm going to Ul'dah. Going good here, other than being bored almost all day. Yeah, kind of the same, Fox. I had to take care of my ex's cat for a little bit. You know, I get to drive around a little, I guess. But I don't know, I was going to do more with my hunting log on Final Fantasy, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I was kind of working on my Stream Deck stuff for most of the day, at least. Oop, I almost burned the cookies. Ooh, yeah, you can't do that. Nobody likes well-done cookies. Let's head to Ul'dah. Wow, Fox, that was my next question. Ooh, chalky chip. Mmm. You know, I've been super craving those, like, peanut butter cookies. Like, kind of like soft ones, like fresh out of the oven. Oh, that sounds so good. I think I'm going the right way, at least. Maybe I am. Yep, there are the red steps. Cooking them soon, tomorrow, letting them sit overnight. Ooh, okay. Makes give me pause. Both peanut butter and choc chip are the bomb, even slightly burnt. Yeah, a little bit crispy on the outside is good. I just really like super soft ones. They're definitely my jam. And this is why I dislike old I am lost-a-roo. Okay. Then take a left here. And okay, here we are. You are expected, my lady. Please proceed.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy. The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Uldar home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side.
Oh, sorry, I'm not muted. I'm just being quiet because there's folks talking.
I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure?
Oh, wow. I want to be hanging with the Sultana? That's interesting.
Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Oh, you can give me more Corgos if you want. However, I would encourage you to. There are lots of other streamers too, so don't blow them all on me, unless you want to. Interesting. Where am I meeting the Sultana now? Outside the quicksand. Thank you so much for the 1 bit. I'm kind of wondering where this is going. There she is. Oh, I have a pet. It's a Midgard Somer, and he just kind of freeloads on my shoulder every now and then. What do you think of Lilira, the merchant's daughter? This is the disguise I don when I wish to leave the palace and observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. Oh, it's Midgard Sormer. See, there he goes. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the gates of Nold. Oh, that is the Sultana. She's disguised. She's disguised because she doesn't want to draw any undue attention. Let's see. Stone's Throw. Or the bottom right? Oh, you mean in my overlay? That is also me, but in a blanket. Let's do some flying, since I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, it's actually there. It was just the blanket itself that I found on Twitter. So I snagged it and added my little face and my tail and all that. There she is. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity. Yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. You have done your best, Your Grace. Then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to unholy air. Alright, now where are we going? Well, we'll see. The person who did my my VTuber avatar is already doing some work for me that actually should be ready pretty soon, I hope. I'll actually probably end up ordering a blanket one since it's going to be getting cold here pretty soon. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens. Quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours, I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarists' damned games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I can... Thank you. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Oop, pets. There we go. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. I really gotta figure out that double audio. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. It's pretty weird. Oop, I see that pumpkin. I'm gonna do that as soon as the pets end. Yeah, one of my least favorite things about Ul'dah is I can't mount up, so walking always takes an age. Hehe, awesome. Okay, I'm at the Colosseum. Oh, okay. I see. There she is.
The nozzle.
The nozzle. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years I simply signed where I was told to sign, and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raban to die on the hands of the Sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confessed I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to not buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate, and then I had my blade. Hiya, Antron. Welcome. Ah, yes. Thank you for the reminder.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham.
Here, give me a second.
Raban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah, and so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last.
Long
live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Corrosia, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome. And thank you for the 50 bits, Moo Savage. Oh, it's okay. Y'all are welcome nonetheless. Thank you so much. And now to figure out why my pumpkin won't pumpkin. That is super weird. This is what I get for screwing with stuff today. Okay, should be doing that. Super cool, it's ignoring pretty much all of the commands it's supposed to be doing. That's pretty awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to redo that. It's fine. What is it we're doing? Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was screwing around with my stream deck today, but apparently I didn't check my work. That's alright, I'll fix it. Did I get to see an old friend after fighting a dragon last night? Yes, I did. And I got tons of pictures, too. I was, well, kind of shocked as hell. But yeah. Yep, that's exactly where I'm at, Kuroja. Right now, it is me and the Sultana. We're taking a tour of Ul'dah. And we just saw a little memory of how her and Raban came to be so close. Words cannot express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raban, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. Hey, cookies! We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Zenith ossuary. Whatever that is. Ooh, and I almost forgot, too. Y'all should definitely follow Kuroja. Kuroja is an awesome variety streamer. Plays some Final Fantasy, plays some Persona, and lots of different stuff. And Bug Snacks. How was Bug Snacks tonight? Which means you're approaching the patch that is the saddest of trials. I don't know if I like the sound of that, Kuroja. The saddest of trials. Like a trial? We played it because my viewer count went from 6 to 1 in the span of a minute, so we didn't have enough people for Jackbox. Ah. And I got to be reminded why it was fun. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Yeah, honestly, I've been noticing lately, like, things have been kind of fluctuating quite a bit. As far as, like viewers are concerned. So I don't know if Twitch is actually dinking around with the back end or something, or what's going on. But I've definitely noticed some very wild peaks and valleys. Hiya, Tuz, welcome. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, Karoja. Super weird. And there we go. Pets. Thank you so much for the bits. Where's this ossuary place? I think I'm gonna go here first. Anyway, gonna run to town to get Grandpa some ice cream and get me junk food because Bug Snacks made me want chips. Yeah, I feel that. That's a mood. Ah, Sue. Take care, Karoja. Drive safe. So, Most Savage, that is actually an excellent question. I'm sure, like most of the people have heard the story, but my character originated on Second Life. And on Second Life, I wanted to practice like building things with the 3D modeling tools that they have. So at one point, I built an enormous safety pin. I don't know why I picked a safety pin, but I picked a safety pin, and I built it in Second Life. It was basically the size of a house. And I liked it so much, I shrunk it down real tiny and just kind of put it in my tail. And since then, it's just been kind of like my thing with my character for years and years and years. So it's kind of spilt over into Twitch here. I mean, yeah, like a little bit, Tuz. It's kind of the bare bones tools that Second Life has available. Oh, thank you so much for the bits. When the calamity threatened, Raban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are highly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a sultana worthy of the name... Thank you. And pets. Yes, it is, and that's why I'm going to hydrate now. If I am to be a sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Ahty. With Alamigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Thanks again for the bits. Already, many displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan's school in Rhalgr's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. Okay, so bits are more like currency rather than giving dollars directly. It's more of like kind of a thing that you can purchase from Twitch, like the bits themselves. Of course, Twitch gets a cut, and then whatever's left is like what you can actually give to a streamer, which is an interesting way of doing things. Gift subs are more of like kind of like being able to not only support the streamer that's streaming, but also kind of share something with someone else. So like say you gift a sub to Hobo, for reasons your own. You gift a sub to Hobo, that's worth something to the streamer. And Hobo gets to enjoy emotes and like all of the other tier 1 sub benefits that somebody who's subbing would normally enjoy. It's really intricate, and I'm sure I'm probably oversimplifying it. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Ul'dah Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Ah, well, he is a most generous man, if something of an eccentric. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. We have to go to the airship landing. Okay, I just need to find a little crystal thinger. Which is behind me. Okay, we are here. Now where am I supposed to go from here, I wonder? Yeah, I'd really like to go down a level. That would be great. Hey, that's my butt in there. Hiya, Skippy. Welcome. There we go. Yep, butts are good. So what's new, Skippy? How are you doing? Yeah, it'd be super great if I could find the airship landing. Let's go back to the Gates of Rule here. Butt coins! Hiya, Turbid. Welcome. Airship landing, yes, oh my god. Doing pretty okay tonight. How are you doing? I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Got to head off, have some serious thunderstorms with tornadoes passing through in the next half hour. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Will do, Hobo. You stay safe, okay? I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Where am I supposed to go? Wow, this place is actually kind of huge. So up from here. I don't get it. Oh, apparently maybe there's some steps. There they are. Ah, there she is. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit a while we wait his coming? My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available on such short notice. When the Sultana herself comes calling, there is no more important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many Alamigos' displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland. And you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting, and your Grace's choice of companion, would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is, stop. Taxing Ulda's wealth to save Alamegan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition? Most emphatically. I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Ulda in this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Girabanya's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we will begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Ulda's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill? Indeed, then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ulda. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor. I do have a butt. It is a very long butt. Profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivete will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Ahty, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Aldernard Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kogani and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall wait your report by the Aetherite in Ulda. A fair journey to you, Ahty, and a swift one, if you please. It is Kugani time. Interesting. Tuz. Aw, thank you. Tuz is more cuter than I am, though. More cuterer. Nope, I can't go that way. Okay, I'll do the pumpkin. I shall do the pumpkin. That's super weird that the Stream Deck is just ignoring those commands now. I don't know what went wrong. And Tuz, that's an art piece I have never seen. Enter the office. Okay, that's fair. Ahty, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I beg your pardon? Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to best invest the wealth of Ul'dah? My dear Ahty, I have you to thank for this recognition, I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have my master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan, the Waking Sands. Would seem a suitable neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Ahty, and may your dealings prove fruitful. I've been doing a lot of walking around today. I think I'd probably rather kill stuff. Well, Tuz, maybe someday you'll share. You'll share with me. Someday. Welcome back, Ahty. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarists at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well. I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands, and prepare for his coming. Alright. There we go. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had the occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Interesting, she's wearing a mask.
You have made your point. It is indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask.
Ah, thank you for the lurk, Paula. And welcome.
There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira? Hmm?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Folks who served the Empire, but now that the Empire isn't there anymore, I think Alighieri.
Yes, if a stable trade route can be established between Uldar and Alamigo, then Alighieri would once more become an important waypoint. But while such growth would greatly benefit its current residents, I'm afraid it could sustain little beyond that.
Sorry, Turbid, I missed the salt part.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Interesting. Interesting. Kinda. It does seem like that, Turbid. It almost seems like a microcosm of how, frankly, our world works. There's the pretense of government, you know, but behind the scenes, you know, it's just corporations and business interests that run the world. I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations, but I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Ahty. I could not have done it without you. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Ahty, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Who run this, Mother? The elite 1% that control the vast majority of wealth and own the greatest mercantile prowess and purchasing power? And girls! Back to Garabanya. Thank you so much for the lurk, Dracon. Welcome. Ahty, you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? And thank you so much for the lurker, Yami. Thank you. So Raban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to? Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping out our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ulda's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ulda to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphanod, it's like Kugani never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though. We need to discuss the proposal with the Saltery's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Ahty? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. All right. Speak with Watt. Watt. Oh, there's Watt right there. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to old Watt this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Ahty, tell them about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was. But it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad, we'll take care of all that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that. Whiskar, my lad, truly I would. So does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, aye, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Ahty? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Let's not waste any time, then. I'll see you by the lock. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Alright, let's do it. I just wanted to kill things, and I'm apparently getting my wish. Right then, Ahty. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. Search your surroundings for yabbies. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a yabby and inspect it with left mouse click. Alright. Observe the yabby to determine its vulnerabilities. Okay, how do I do that? Not really sure what I'm doing wrong here. I'm observing it. Let me just read up on a little bit on this. Oh, I get it. Okay. There it is. The yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a yabby. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? There you go. Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. There we go. Thanks, Ahty. I did just as you told me, and the wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Here we go, that felt good. Come on, Nugs. Me too, actually. I had a bunch of French fries for lunch, and I want more. I think I can handle the yabbies now. Should we try something different? What else is out there? Phobods. Okay. Hey, Pedro. Welcome. Good to see you again. How are you doing? The Phobod's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ah, a Phobod. How do I defeat one of those? I'm far behind? Yeah, we took out Fordola on Friday night and then Zenos last night. So just poking around now. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. Yeah, doing pretty well. I see. Yeah, that's all. The crafter and gatherer stuff I haven't even touched. Not yet, anyway. Sure, I'll see your progress. You should still be able to post links to pictures and stuff. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Ahty. I got a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Saltery before Granddad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabby's hatchlings. Ooh, nice. I think I'm a 71 right now. Yep, 71. Oh, not too much longer now, and you'll be max level. But yeah, I'm trying not to rush through it. here we are. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself after a bit of instruction from Ahty here. Like, once I've shared what I've learned with the others, I should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folks over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Thank you so much for the follow, Nalu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It seems Whiskar has the Saltery security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings there could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden. Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak to you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obligated to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Eldar. You should go. General Alden asked that you wait for him by the main gate in Alamegan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. I wonder what that's all about.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
Uh-oh.
By their uniforms, but after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Hassi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Ooh, yikes.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Execution is not the answer.
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine.
Oop, let me check that out. Oh, heck, you have been busy. Dang. Heckin' awesome. Yeah, wow. Holy crap, yeah, you've been super busy.
In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me. I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever.
Very nice.
Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
Do you want to?
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Ah, okay. That took longer than I intended. But at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Ehrenwald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vira. These are Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all of the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kaylana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Ahty, you've dealt with these Kaylana before. I'd have you at my side. I don't know if I like the sounds of this very much. Two pupils in game, newbie sprouts. Aww. I gotta find my way out of the city. Let's do it. Now, helping sprouts along are actually, it's actually pretty fun. Although I don't pretend to know all the answers, like when I was going through some dungeons, like last weekend. It was, I don't know, it was kind of frustrating at times, but, you know, then it was okay, because, like, you've got folks that are just trying to get through it like you are, right? But they've never done it before. So you kind of have to have some patience. Here's Loxeld. Now you see my busy day. I play multiple hours here, too many hours to get things done. I help and give some sweets. Well, bless you for doing it, because like there are lots of folks that really just don't like that at all. Don't like doing that stuff at all. I don't even know where I'm going here. Maybe I'm just taking the long way around. Well, I mean, it's not. It's nothing to put up with, honestly. Like, you know, I keep reminding myself that this isn't WoW. You know, and you know, there's really no room for being a jerk about stuff. You know, and plus on top of that, we were all sprouts once. All of us. I was a sprout not too long ago. I mean, this is still my first playthrough. I'm still a sprout in some circumstances. And welcome, Katie. Ahty, Raban, gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Garabanya home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will all be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Because I think we have. Is this the twist you were talking about, Pedro? Interesting. What is this thing that I equipped? That is an interesting bow, for sure. Yeah, the snake folks are coming to the meeting, I guess. Is that the twist, or is it still coming? This Kayana Elder's intention seems at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Ahty? Maybe the enthralled can learn to compromise? You believe an understanding can be reached? 'Tis not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? Ah, okay. I'll do my best to be prepared. Thank you for the heads up, Pedro. Every time I see you on the pumpkin, I say, "What a lovely bean." Thank you, Tuz. Oop, pets. There we go. I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Ahty. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. All right. I mean, we'll see, Pedro. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time tonight to do this. but we'll see. We'll see what the time is right around when it gets ready to pop. Okie doke. Ahty, I brought reinforcements. Ehrenwald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agree that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. But Alizé's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races. Despised it, in fact. Even compared to other Ananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lys was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside, then. Ahty, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. Oops. Oh yeah, I haven't gone through and gotten all of the Aether Currents yet. You're with the Scions, miss? General Alden left orders that you were to be escorted inside, if you'll follow me. Yes. Wow, this place.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lys Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place?
Yep. I am on PC.
Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
Okay, Pedro.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gia Abania devote themselves to our faith.
Excuse me?
You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
What, did they smuggle crystals into the throne room?
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Yep, I'm ready.
God damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvold to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Ah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Deflect all spheres with the action deflect. Do not let any sphere touch our friends or it's game over. Okay. Okay, apparently I have to get in the line then? I am full screen. Oh, you mean scroll? Okay, okay, so scroll out then. It's probably gonna take a few tries.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity. I shall free you from your hate!
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
How did she get out?
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Well, it'd be cool if I could target her. Finally.
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
Here it comes!
Darkness hold no solace.
I think that did it. Nice, thank you.
We did it! We beat her!
Oh, pets. Sorry. It's been intense. Why did she free her? That's interesting.
What is this?
I'm only going to say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Zenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Interesting.
Seven hells. It's her. The butcher.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Wow. I thought not. I'm actually starting to pity her a bit. Well fought, Ahty. Ironvold. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kaelana have been brief indeed. Have you not volunteered for guard duty? We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Gah, it's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson, and watch our own more carefully in the future. You could be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kalana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal's servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Yushtola. We appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola showed up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up in is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. 'Tis a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphanod. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted, Ahty. You and the Scions are here to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. Ha, rest. That's funny. I've noticed. But we'll see.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave. Forget something?
It's not who you think it is.
Your Grace, there was no word.
Rabon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
What? Why?
But, Your Grace...
Rabon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety. and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raoban. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Wow. You know, when we were making the rounds with the Sultana, I probably should have seen this coming.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise. But we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be Deities, Alphino, 'twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubarn. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Oh, come on, Pippin. Probably the only one here who could crack that joke and not get killed.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
Alphanod.
Does this mean you're staying?
Yes, I saw on the cinematic, Pedro. The cinematic following us putting down Zenos. It was very interesting.
Aye, that seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubarn.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch.
Yeah, we'll see about Yatsuyu. I'm again, this is my first time through, so I don't know what happens next. So I'm kind of hoping to shield myself from any spoilers, if that's okay. Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch.
In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, I assumed you knew, but like, yeah, like no details beyond where I'm at right now. Things are getting nuts, and we're getting closer and closer to stuff. So. So I think it's probably right now that I'm going to wrap stuff up, because I have to go to bed. I have work tomorrow. So I think with that, I think we're going to raid someone. So I already know who I want to raid. So let's see what she's doing right now. I see. Looks pretty good. Alright. So let's go raid Ayami. She is playing vampire right now. So let's do it. Alright, so as always, thank you all so much for spending your Sunday evening with me. It means a lot. And thank you, Corrosia, for the raid. I know you're probably sleeping right now, or eating ice cream, or both. But yeah, tonight was good. Tonight was good. Still, we're gonna be keep wrapping up the MSQ come Tuesday. I'll be streaming Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST. So hopefully y'all will be around then, and join me there. So at any rate, we have got a raid. So show Ayami all the love, because she is a dedicated mod here, and she does a lot for the stream. So I want to return the favor. Alrighty. Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep. Take care, folks. Have a great night. Have a great week. And hopefully I'll see you all Tuesday. Take care, folks. Good night.